Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the main card of RoboMania 4. I am Game & Soy, and welcome back to an absolutely amazing and stacked card that we have due tonight. We have 5 different fights that are going to be happening, and they all lead up to the main event, which is going to be between Headache and QWOP. This fight, I cannot emphasize how excited I am for it. We have a hammer saw, maybe the best hammer saw in RoboMania, going up against one of the most powerful and crazy robots that is in RoboMania as well. This fight is definitely going to come down to who can hit that first shot that will really count. And I definitely don't see this one lasting a full 3 minutes going to the judge's decision, but we are going to have to see when that time comes. Before that, we have some amazing fights as well. For our co-main event, we have Berserker, the number 15 rank, going up against Bloodwork. And based off of that little picture right there, Bloodwork looks a little different. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to perform, but I guess we're going to have to see. Before that, we have Sunrise going up against Bloodrain. These are 2 robots that have amazing wedges, and this fight, whoever wins the wedge game is going to be the winner in my opinion. And then we have 2 robots that are very good in this league. Sharkbait coming off of one of the toughest losses of its career in the main event in RoboMania 1. It will have a chance to redeem itself going up against the Kitty Goes Meow, Scary Harry. Scary Harry's coming off of a knockout win over Hump Day, and I am excited to see if that momentum is going to be on its side. And of course, to start everything out tonight, we have Cheesus, one of the most popular robots in the Robot Rumble 2 Discord. It will be going up against Ruckus Reforged, a very powerful, low, and very quick robot. This is going to be an absolutely amazing test for Cheesus to see if it can win this fight. A lot of people are already saying Cheesus deserves to be in the top 15, and it hasn't even fought yet. So this is going to be an absolutely amazing fight. If you guys were here for the preliminary fights, you can see right here, we have had some crazy fights so far in this card. There was 2 fights that truly stood out to me in these preliminary fights, and that was the winners of Ventura and Carnivore. Both of these robots are going to be climbing significantly in these rankings, and I'm excited to see how they're going to do in the future. Other than that, it was mostly a decision card, which I know a lot of people don't like, but most of these robots were all debuting robots, and they still have a lot to improve throughout their career. We have an absolutely amazing stacked card that's going to be ahead of us for tonight. 5 amazing fights that I absolutely cannot wait for. So let's start off with the very first fight of the night. For the first fight of the night, we will see Cheesus take on Ruckus Reforged. Neither robot is known for taking a step backwards, which should forecast for an intense matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live for our very first fight of the night. We have Cheesus going up against Ruckus Reforged. This match is pretty much even on the fight odds, a slight favorite for Ruckus Reforged. This fight is going to be fun. Fighting out of the blue square, we have Ruckus Reforged. This robot it's glitching out right now, but it is a very fast, low robot, and it can do a ton of damage. It's making its debut tonight, and it will be going up against the god of Robot Rumble 2. This is Cheesus, a robot with amazing power, amazing speed. It can dish out a lot of damage and has a lot of defense as well. 3, 2, 1, let this fight begin. Cheesus and Ruckus Reforged, and right off the bat, Ruckus Reforged goes flying in the air, turned upside down, taking a lot of shots right now, but now self-righted, and Cheesus is staying on the attack, but now gets flipped over. But you can see that little cheese on its head. It can self-right at any time when it's flipped over, as long as that stays on its robot. Ruckus Reforged now doing a ton of damage to the underneath carriage of Cheesus, and now they both separate. A huge hit right there by both robots, and Ruckus Reforged goes flying. I think a wheel has come off, and now Cheesus goes flying. Back and forth fight so far, and Cheesus is trying its best to get past those wedges. Ruckus Reforged getting underneath that spinning blade of Cheesus, and it's doing its best just to stay squared. That's the only thing it can do while going against an overhead spinner, and it's doing really well right now against it. Cheesus getting in a lot of hits as well, though. You gotta keep in mind that the judges are going to be seeing this entirety of the fight live. They're not going to be judging it based off of just replays or anything like that. So based off of momentum, this is what we gotta look out for. Ruckus Reforged gets a huge part chipped off of it, and another part, and now the top of its chassis is almost bare. Cheesus goes flying against the wall. This is an intense back and forth fight so far. Cheesus goes flying, and it's out of the camera angle. A huge hit by Cheesus, and another one. And half of the chassis is off of Ruckus Reforged. We have about a minute left in this fight, and it's hard to tell who's winning right now. I'd have to say Cheesus has a slight lead right now, but anything can change in the last minute of this fight, while Ruckus Reforged is getting underneath Cheesus and sends it flying in the air twice, 3 times. Can it do it once more? Cheesus is trying its best to stay stable with that spinning blade. It is going flying, so the strength of that blade may not be as good anymore, and it seems very wobbly at this point. Ruckus Reforged staying aggressive and shooting Cheesus against the wall multiple times, and the weapon is now off of Cheesus. It is now officially just a wedge robot. What can it do to survive? And it's not doing it right now. Ruckus Reforged, 24 seconds left, and it's being aggressive, chipping off a bunch of parts of Cheesus. Cheesus flips over Ruckus Reforged there with the self-righting system, and now there goes the wedge. Ruckus Reforged is now in complete control of this final minute of the fight. But did it do enough in that first 2 minutes to actually get the win? We are going to the judge's decision with an amazing first fight of the night. Wow, Cheesus and Ruckus Reforged left it all in the arena today. It started out with Cheesus doing a ton of damage to Ruckus Reforged. It seemed like whatever Ruckus Reforged was doing, it just kept getting hit and hit. But it also sent Cheesus flying in the air multiple times. So the first 2 minutes are going to determine who wins this fight. Obviously that last minute was Ruckus Reforged, but the first 2 minutes I'm not quite sure. There were some amazing shots. There goes the wheel guard and the big ol' R on top of Ruckus Reforged, and then there goes the chassis on top. That was when everything changed right here, though. Ruckus Reforged knocked off the spinning blade and then was in complete control for the final 30 seconds of the fight. And I am very curious to see what the judges think of this fight. It is going to be very close in my opinion. Now that that fight is over, let's take a look at the statistics of this match. Like I said earlier, the first 2 minutes are going to determine who wins this fight. Minute number 3, you can mark that for Ruckus Reforged, in my opinion at least. Minute number 1, looking at the statistics, it seemed like Cheesus actually outstruck Ruckus Reforged, so it might all come down to that minute number 2. Who is going to win this fight? It was very close on paper. I have no idea who won, and I expect it to be a split decision. But I guess we're gonna have to see who wins. I'm getting note that the judge's decision is in, so let's see who won this fight. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 minutes, we go to the judges' scorecards for their decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 29 to 28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Cheesus. A decision victory for Cheesus. Congratulations for winning that fight. I'm not quite sure if I actually agree with that one, but nonetheless, both robots had a great performance, so I'm not quite sure to see, even off of a loss, Ruckus Reforged to drop that far. in the ranking system, but either way, I'm not one to complain about something. But on my personal scorecard, I had it the other way around with Ruckus Reforged by split decision. Regardless of the decision victory or loss, congratulations to both robots. Honestly, they put everything that they had in that arena for those 3 minutes. And I could definitely see them both moving very high in the ranking system in the future, and I can definitely see both of them having very top tier opponents scheduled for the future as well. I suppose the ultimate thing that made the judges think that Cheesus won that fight was the amount of significant strikes it had. It tore off a bunch of pieces in minute 1 and 2 of Ruckus Reforged, so I guess that was the determining factor for the judges. Ultimately though, congratulations to both robots, an absolutely amazing fight. Sparks will fly as one of the top prospects. Sharkbait 2haha will take on Scary Harry, the Christmas cat. Momentum is the theme for this fight as Sharkbait is coming off of a loss while Scary Harry tries to keep the winning streak. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, our second fight of the night. We have Sharkbait 2haha going up against Scary Harry, the Christmas cat. Look at the fight odds, near even. This fight is as close as you can get. Two orange boys fighting. Scary Harry fighting out of the red square. This robot has a new design. I think this is the anti-horizontal wedge. It is absolutely powerful. Coming off of a knockout victory against Hump Day, it truly has the power to finish a fight. It will be going up against one of the most hyped robots in RoboMania. This is Sharkbait 2haha. It lost to Gallo in the main event in RoboMania 1, but it's coming back to see if it can win its second fight in the league. 3, 2, 1. Let the orange boy fight begin. Here we go. Sharkbait versus Scary Harry. Scary Harry flips over Sharkbait immediately, but now Sharkbait is coming back and hits off one of the wedges. The wedges that are supposed to prevent the horizontal spinner from doing damage. One of them has come off, but now Scary Harry is trying to get to the corners of Sharkbait. Sharkbait is such an interesting robot. It has weapons on the front and back, and just like you see there, it can hit with both of them at the same time, back to back. It's truly one of the best robots in the league, and it's so fun to watch. Scary Harry's wheels are now trying to get chewed off, but Scary Harry's trying to take that corner to get to that side wedge of Sharkbait like it does right there, and it hits off one of the wheel guards, and now the other wedge of Scary Harry has come off. This could be where everything changes. Scary Harry is now kind of scared right now, in my opinion. It's getting chewed up on the side while it's flipped on its back, and Sharkbait is just doing what it does best, just hitting and just keep touching the opposing robot. I think a wheel has come off. 3 wheels have come off in one sequence. And now all of the wheels have come off of Scary Harry. This fight looks to be over already unless we can get a miracle shot by Scary Harry. But now the chassis comes off. There is the fire, sparks, everything you love to see in a fight. Smoke now. Sharkbait is in complete control of this fight and is completely tearing apart Scary Harry, the Christmas cat, pinned it against the corner, and a bunch of things are flying off. All it has to do is just back off, and it'll win this fight. But it wants to prove that it belongs, that it can dominate in fights. So it belongs back in that top 15, coming off of that one loss against Gallo. Such a hard fight to lose against one of the best robots in the league. And here's the countdown. Scary Harry pretty much dead at this point. Sharkbait with a beautiful knockout victory and just completely destroyed Scary Harry the Christmas cat. Congratulations to Sharkbait. A very good performance. It started out very even actually. Scary Harry was getting its shots off that it wanted to do, but right there you can see both weapons when it gets hit. It uses both the weapons to hit the opposing robots. It's so fun to watch because it's pretty much 2 in 1. Here's just a beautiful shot of just removing the entire chassis of Scary Harry, chipping off the batteries, making sure that this robot will completely die when the countdown starts. and it did a fantastic job. There's another double shot by Sharkbait. Another one right there, and that's how the fight ended. And with our first knockout in the card, congratulations to Sharkbait with a fantastic performance to just completely dominate Scary Harry. Sharkbait came out after that first loss against Gallo, and it made sure that that first fight was not a fluke. This robot is for real. I am very interested to see what the selection committee is going to do for Sharkbait and its future. I'm just very curious to see what matchups. I just have a bunch of thoughts going through my head about Sharkbait's future. I am genuinely so excited to see how this robot is going to perform in the future. Now, it was a very tough loss for Scary Harry, but you gotta think, one knockout win and one knockout loss. That's honestly the best thing you could do because you want to be as aggressive as possible. You never want the fight to go the distance, and even if you get knocked out, as long as you have a couple of knockouts under your belt, I don't see any problems with that. Obviously, Scary Harry might not yet have to go back to the drawing board, but it's getting kind of close. One knockout win, one knockout loss. Two of the lowest wedges will face off in a battle of the lowest robot. Sunrise and Bloodrain will try to grapple it out in order to climb up the rankings. This fight is already here. I am so excited. This is Sunrise going up against Bloodrain. As always, as you would think, the fight odds, of course, 50-50. These wedges are two of the best in the game, and they're about to go head to head. Fighting out of the red square, we have Bloodrain, a robot that, just look at it, it has a perfect wedge. This robot can get under almost any other robot in the league, but it is going to be going up against one of the toughest robots with also a really good wedge. This is Sunrise, a robot that defeated Siva in a decision victory, and it purely dominated. I am very excited to see who's going to win this wedge game coming up next. 3, 2, 1, here we go. The wedge battle. Immediately Bloodrain wins it, and Sunrise is flipped over on its back, and Bloodrain is getting a really good couple of shots. I'm gonna say Bloodrain, but it's Bloodrain. It's going to be hard for me to say that fast. Sunrise gets a huge hit and now gets actually underneath Bloodrain, and the wedge battle, here we go. Back and forth already. Bloodrain won the first half, and now Sunrise is controlling this fight right now. We're only 30 seconds in, and they both have shared the amount of wedge wins. I'm excited to see this. I really enjoy watching wedges fight. And there we go. Sunrise getting underneath again, trying to do some damage to Bloodrain. I don't know if it's really doing anything. As I say that, a bunch of parts have come off of Bloodrain, and I think a few parts from Sunrise as well. We gotta know that weapon on Bloodrain is absolutely terrifying. It's not as good as Sunrise's weapon, but Sunrise seems to be more of the controlling robot in this fight, just slamming Bloodrain against the wall currently, doing it over and over again. A bunch of pieces have been coming off of Bloodrain, and I'm not exactly sure if it knows how to get out of this. This is the one problem with two-wheel drives. If it's two-wheeled and you get pinned up, it's pretty much game over. And then Sunrise gets a huge hit with its weapon, knocking off one of the wheels of Bloodrain and taking its back against the slam into the wall. We're almost halfway through this fight already, and Sunrise looks to be in complete control from being overworked in that first 10-15 seconds of the fight where Bloodrain actually was dominating, and now Sunrise coming back and just staying in control of this. Looking really good while doing it too. Doing a nice pin against the wall currently. And this is, honestly, this is what Sunrise is known for. It did this against Siva, and it's doing it against Bloodrain. It's just controlling a fight. It may not be the prettiest way to win, but it's absolutely effective. Slamming Bloodrain into the wall again, and maybe once more. Boom, there it goes. Bloodrain needs to figure something out with 37 seconds left in this fight, getting slammed against the wall, and just being completely outmaneuvered by Sunrise. Sunrise may be one of the best robots in the league. I know I say that about a lot of robots, but look at it. Look what it's doing to good robots. It's completely making them look just on a different level. We got about 10 seconds left in this fight, and Bloodrain needs to do something right now, or it's going to lose this fight, in my opinion. Sunrise completely dominating this performance, and we are going to be going to a judge's decision. Wow. Sunrise. A really good performance from Sunrise right there. Bloodrain right here. First 10-15 seconds. Looked really good. It was completely flipping over Sunrise, punting it, and then I believe it was this shot right here hits Sunrise. Sunrise gets a really good reversal and then starts to outwork, and from there Sunrise won every single wedge battle that they had. Every single time Sunrise was underneath after that and just did this. Look at this shot right here. If you guys are wearing 3D glasses, have fun with that one. Then Sunrise just completely dominated this fight. I can't get over how good Sunrise looked. I did not expect this fight to be so one-sided. I mean, obviously we're gonna have to wait for what the judges think, but in my opinion, Sunrise completely won that fight. While we wait for the judges to figure out who won this fight, let's take a look at the statistics of this fight. Now, obviously, just take a look at minute 2 and minute number 3. Complete dominance by Sunrise, just completely outworked, outgrappled. Sunrise was on a different level today, and it really showed when it fought against Bloodrain. Now this might be closer than what a lot of people think just based off of minute number 1. That first 10-15 seconds, Bloodrain got a lot of work in. Definitely flipped more than Sunrise did, but everything else Sunrise, honestly congratulations to Sunrise. I hope this goes the way that I'm thinking, because Sunrise 100% deserved to win that fight. I'm also getting word that the judge's decision is in, so let's see who wins this fight. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 minutes, we go to the judges' scorecards for their decision. The judges score the contest 30-27, 29-27, and 30-27. For the winner, by unanimous decision, Sunrise! And with a unanimous decision victory, Sunrise is going to be the winner. Congratulations. An absolute dominant performance. A lot of people have been scared of Bloodrain in the entire Discord. It's one of the scariest robots, and somehow Sunrise figured out a way to completely make it feel like it was on a different level. Now Sunrise is going to be 2-0 now, and I will be absolutely shocked if this robot does not show up in next week's ranking system. I fully expect this robot to be in the top 15 when the next rankings come out. It has just been completely dominating opponents, and I am very excited to see what the future holds for Sunrise. Obviously, that was not what Bloodrain wanted when, making a debut and you lose in that fashion, especially after all of the hype that has been surrounding this robot. Honestly though, I feel like Bloodrain just had an absolutely tough opponent, and it's going to do better in the future. I can almost guarantee it. 2 overhead spinners will collide as Berserker will take on Bloodwork in a horizontal spinner's delight. Both robots are 1 win away from making a big statement in the top 10. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is our co-main event of the evening. We have Berserker, the number 15 ranked, going up against Bloodwork. Bloodwork looks really different, and it's very favorable on the fight odds at least. And here it is, fighting out of the blue square. Here's Bloodwork. What is happening? It looks very different from its last fight. That weapon is huge. I really didn't expect that. This is not in my notes. I don't really know what to do right now. Fighting out of the red square, we have Berserker, this robot coming off of a win over Triad, over decision. It didn't look fantastic in its last fight, let's be honest. but it somehow managed to get the win, and it is trying to make a big statement. 3, 2, 1, let our co-main event begin as Bloodwork and Berserker go head to head immediately. That ginormous weapon of Bloodwork gets caught, and it's trying to spin up to full speed, but it's so big, I'm not sure if it can. It's now officially doing it, and here we go. This is, I guess, what we wanted. The chassis top of Bloodwork has also come off sometime, and it seems like a little bit of Berserker has come off as well. Seems like Bloodwork is trying to get that, almost like that cheeky reach going right now, just trying to chip off a few things of Berserker. But it's not doing fantastic so far. I mean, it's chipping off a few things, but it's not doing what I expected. With that big of a weapon, I was going to assume that it was just going to just completely destroy Berserker. But Berserker staying kind of calm right now. It lost its wheel, actually, and that is not a good sign for Berserker. Berserker's trying to just stay away while Bloodwork just ping-pongs itself off the walls. This is what happens when you have a ginormous weapon. This right here, it's so big and it's going to be hard to control the rest of your robot. A huge hit right there sends Berserker flying, and Bloodwork also goes flying in return. And now both robots are meeting towards the center, where they both get a little shot off on each other. Well, now they're both just trying to figure out. Both weapons very heavy. They're both going to have problems, and Bloodwork's weapon just completely destroys itself, flips itself over, and I think that's going to be the end of the... Are you kidding me right now? That's the end of the fight. Berserker didn't have to do anything, and Bloodwork just... The weapon was too big. The weapon was too big and unstable, and that's what happens when you make a ginormous weapon. It just you break your own robot just like that. If the old Bloodwork was out here, it would have been a much different fight. It would have been a lot better, honestly. This was a weird design choice by Bloodwork, but honestly, congratulations to Berserker. It did what it needed to do in order to win, and that was nothing. It just survived until Bloodwork just killed itself, pretty much. Yeah. I really don't know what to say after that performance, because Berserker didn't do anything. It maybe got a few shots off that first shot, and it won. Bloodwork's weapon choice was very iffy, honestly. That weapon was so big and it was so low to the ground as well that whenever it spun and it got hit or it made a hit, it pretty much destroyed itself. Now, although Berserker didn't do anything, this is going to be marked up as a TKO victory for Berserker, which means it's going to be climbing up in the rankings since it was already number 15. I'm very curious to see what Berserker is going to be doing next, because let's be real, it had 2 fights and both of them were kind of weird in their own separate ways. And now for Bloodwork. I know I've said this already, but I do not like what happened with Bloodwork. When Bloodwork fought Project F, I thought it was going to use that weapon in this fight, and I thought it could have actually have done that. But instead, this is a lesson to everybody. Don't make adjustments if you don't need to. For the main event of the evening, we will see Headache take on QWOP. Both undefeated robots will look to continue their streak as the Hammersaw Headache looks to dismount the very powerful vertical spinner QWOP. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it! The main event of the evening. We have the number 11 seed going up against the number 12 seed. This is Headache versus QWOP. QWOP, a heavy favorite in this tournament, fighting out of the blue square. We have QWOP. This robot, it's gone. QWOP just, it's gone. It defeated Breakfast Big Boy via KO, where Breakfast Big Boy just kind of, the motors burnt out when they got stuck together, and it will be fighting Headache. This robot had a very powerful statement over another Hammersaw in the name of Jonathan. It won via decision, and it looks really good while doing it. This fight is going to be absolutely insane. 3, 2, 1. Let the main event begin. Headache versus QWOP, and immediately Headache goes for a big hit weapon to weapon and flips over QWOP on its back real quick. And it looks like Headache is trying to get to the side angle, and it lets down that powerful hammer saw, and it just smacked QWOP, and then did it again, but QWOP countered with its weapon, and it seems like the frame, I think, of Headache has come off. QWOP is now trying to get around, but Headache has the corner, and it is lined up. Is it going to throw down that weapon? It might try to bring it to this wall. And it's going to bring it to the wall, and there comes down the hammer. Headache gets a great shot on the side of QWOP. And now QWOP is trying to get on top, but now Headache comes back with a really powerful shot, and then another shot by Headache. QWOP has been looking kind of on its heels, and now the weapon has come off of Headache. And now QWOP is in control of this fight and hits it out of the arena. Wow! Are you kidding me right now? A minute and 2 seconds into the fight, and QWOP is the winner by elimination, our main event winner. Wow! Headache was actually, in my opinion, winning the earlier stages of this fight. It was raining down some powerful throws. And it got flipped over right there, and that's where the frame came off, I believe. But this is the shot right there. That's where Headache hit QWOP with a really good shot. I believe this was the shot that made the weapon fall off, and there it goes, and that's when QWOP knew this is where I could end it. This is where the momentum changes. Boom, get out of here. Out of the arena. QWOP, winner by elimination. And just like that, we have our main event winner, QWOP, winner by elimination. An absolutely amazing performance by QWOP. It got that hammer saw, just fell off, and then it just took over the fight. QWOP is now 2-0, and it is now on its way to challenge for that championship. I would have to say, if I had to list the top 5 robots in the league right now, QWOP might be considered in that top 5. But when a robot wins, another one loses. I can 100% see Headache staying in the top 15 and completely rebounding after that fight. It was a tough loss, but it looked good in that first minute of that fight. I'm curious to see what robots are going to be matched up against Headache, because if it's sitting at that 10 to 15 rank, a robot outside looking in is definitely going to want to challenge that robot. All in all though, congratulations to QWOP. An absolute gorgeous performance, and I am very excited to see what the future is going to hold for QWOP. Thank you guys so much for watching RoboMania 4 featuring Headache versus QWOP. If you guys have enjoyed this episode or even disliked it, please make sure to leave down a comment down below so I can see how you guys think. And if you guys absolutely love this, make sure you leave a like. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm to make sure that my channel succeeds. Other than that, I will see you guys all next time on RoboMania 5 featuring Werewolf versus the Doctor for the championship of RoboMania. Next time on RoboMania.